Welcome back to the Live the Life podcast, episode number 5. Okay, on today's episode, we're going to be talking we're going to do a little bit of a summary on the principles that we've been talking about in the last 3 episodes of Igniting Your Spark, which are passion, purpose, and perseverance. But before we do that, I want to let you guys know that this past week, in fact, it was this last Friday, I participated in a storytelling contest for NSA Houston, which National Speakers Association Houston chapter. And it was a lot of fun. The competition, I gotta say, was pretty amazing. There were 4 of us who competed, and yours truly took home the prize. I wish I got a trophy or something. No such luck. But that's okay. The important part is that I won. I took first place, and it was a lot of fun. Really enjoyed myself. I think the stress of it being a competition kind of got to me a little bit. I mean, I was really dialed in, and but hey, pulled it through, made it happen, and it was awesome. Great experience. The other competitors, the other contestants shared some amazing stories. And just goes to show that we all have great stories, and we can all share our stories to help inspire other people. So if you're thinking right now, oh man, I don't have any stories, or my life is lame, I'm boring, whatever, that is really not true. You just haven't found the story to tell yet. And your story, maybe you're living it right now, or you've already lived it, or it's yet to come. So don't lose sight of that. Your story could be coming, right? So be prepared. All right, so that was some really good news to share. So from here, I'm not really sure how this works, but I believe that I go to a regional competition. So I think now it goes to regional. If I win there, then I go to national, which I believe I would be presenting at the annual conference in July. So, hey, fingers crossed. Hope I can make it. And you know what? If I don't advance any further than just the chapter level, it was well worth it to be able to share an awesome story. I don't think I can share the story because it's in the works and the competition is still going on. So I am going to share a story with you guys that talks about passion, purpose, and perseverance today, though, that I think encapsulates what we've been talking about for the last few weeks. So anyway, I will share that with you. I also want to let you know that the rewrite for the Live the Life You've Always Imagined book is ongoing. I am really close to go to final edit. So stay tuned on that. It's coming. I'm gonna pop that back up there. Okay, so that's coming. So stay tuned. We'll give you some more information as soon as I have that. Also, we are really busy behind the scenes of this podcast, lining up our next guests. So we will be recording several episodes coming up any day now, hopefully next week. And so stay tuned, because we have some awesome guests coming to talk about their experiences, how they've overcome, how they've conquered. And I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I think you're really going to enjoy the stories that these guests are going to share with all of you. And I'm excited to continue to learn from them and to be inspired by those stories. So lots of great stuff coming down. And it's exciting. I'm really excited about our guests and just where this podcast is going to go here into the future. So, hey, if you like this podcast, Please tell your friends, share it, like it, make comments. If you have questions, put them down in the comments. I will personally answer every question. So feel free to do that. It helps out the channel, the podcast quite a bit if you guys do all those things. So I really appreciate it, and hope you guys are enjoying it. All right. So several years ago, I was in a hospital lab, and I was in the waiting area. They had like a really nice waiting area, kind of closed off from the hall, from like the main hallway area, and it was all tile floors. It was really nice. I think it was travertine. I don't think it was like that fake tile stuff. I think it was travertine. It was really, really nice. And the hospital kind of went through a remodel, and they really, really just kind of upscaled it and made it look really, really beautiful. So I'm waiting in the lab, waiting to have my labs drawn. And, it can be boring sitting there waiting to have your name called and, for them to take your blood. So, like everybody else that was in the waiting room, I was ignoring my daughter, who was sitting right next to me. Oh, and by the way, we weren't all ignoring her. It just everybody was ignoring each other. Okay? But, we were all on our phones, right? Because that's just what we do. We become accustomed to that. That's our go-to in most situations. So, as we were all paying attention to our phones, I just happened to glance up, and this lady caught my eye, and she was a hospital staff member. She was on the janitorial or housekeeping department, and she had her yellow bucket, and she was mopping the floors. But she wasn't just mopping the floors. She was mopping while she was dancing, while she was lip syncing to her song. She had her headphones in, and she was just going. She was dancing. She was having a good time. You could tell she had a little Latin flavor, right? And she was having a really good time. Well, she got my attention, and pretty soon I'm like elbowing my daughter. I'm like, hey, check out this lady over here. And so she starts paying attention to her, and my daughter's making comments like, wow, she is really enjoying herself. Hey, she's a pretty good dancer. Hey, she looks like she's having a lot of fun. Pretty soon, everybody else in the room is noticing this hospital staff worker with the same idea, right? That she's amazing, that she's having a lot of fun, that, just on and on. So, as I'm sitting there watching this, and as I see her moving across the hall and kind of making her way towards us, she finally gets, and she's literally mopping, she gets right in front of us. She is literally mopping in front of us, like to the point where we're moving our feet, like we're lifting our feet up off the ground so she can mop. And it was eating at me to think, what is this lady's name? Why is she dancing? Why is she singing? Why is she having such a great time? Why is she just smiling the entire time? And it was just one of those things that would not leave me. I couldn't let it go. So I finally got the nerve to make eye contact with her. And as I made eye contact, she did this, right? Like, what? And I just said, hey, do you have just a second? And, there was a little bit of a language barrier, but we figured it out. And I asked her, I said, hey, what is your name? And she said, my name is Gloria. I said, Gloria, my name is Eric. I said, I don't want to disturb you. I'm so sorry, but I just have to ask, do you really love your job? And she kind of held on to the mop, in this manner. She was holding on to the mop handle or whatever, the stick. And she kind of leaned into it a little bit, and she was just smiling the whole time. And the whole time she was speaking, this is what she said as she smiled. She said, I love to clean and I love to dance. And I can't believe that these people will pay me to clean and pay me to dance. And I was like thinking, well, surely they're not paying you to dance, right? Like, I'm pretty sure they're not paying you to dance. But I was missing the point a little bit, right? She had so much passion for her job. Now, was she passionate about janitorial services? I don't know. I can't say that that's what she was passionate about. But I know that she was passionate about cleaning. Now, is she passionate about cleaning a hospital? I don't know. Is she just passionate about cleaning? Obviously, she's passionate about cleaning. And that passion translates. You see, when you meet people who are truly passionate about what they do, you will recognize it. You will see it. You won't even know. You're not going to sit there and think, oh, that person has passion. But you're going to know, you're going to recognize that that person loves what they do. You fill in the blank. Whatever it is that you are witnessing, they love what they do. It could be a waitress. It could be someone working in janitorial services. It could be a doctor. It could be a nurse. It could be an attorney. It could be somebody working a register at H-E-B or your supermarket, where you're going to encounter people all around you who truly love what they do, or at least they love aspects about what they do. So maybe they don't love everything in general about what they're doing, but they find something about what they're doing that they absolutely love. Okay? I hope that makes sense. This was Gloria, and she was amazing. So we talked for just a few seconds. And back then, I used to have these black bracelets, those rubber, I guess they're jelly bracelets, and they were black. And I think I'm gonna order some more. But they had "Live the Life" in white, embossed in them, or I guess it's embossed, right? Whatever, we'll just say embossed. So embossed on the top and the bottom of the bracelet. And it said "Live the Life" in white lettering. They were kind of cool, kind of a popular thing. I loved wearing them. I took mine off and I said, hey, you're a person who truly lives the life. Here, I'll give you my bracelet. And she put it on. She was very thankful. She went on her way dancing and singing as she mopped. Okay, so she didn't break stride. She just kept on doing what she was doing, which is an amazing lesson to all of us. We must find what it is we love about what we do. I'm pretty sure that Gloria didn't grow up as a little kid, as a young girl, and think, oh, I want to work in janitorial services and clean hospitals when I grow up. I'm pretty sure that wasn't it. But she finds a way to love what she is actually doing. You have to be able to find that love. When you encounter it, you're going to see it. You're going to recognize it. You might even think that those people are a little bit weird when you first encounter it and go, well, that lady's a little weird. Because some of the people in the waiting area in the lab were actually saying, like, well, what a weird lady. Like, what is she doing? Right? But you got to take a moment, just take it in, and just actually experience what you are witnessing. Take it in. And then look at it with a different light. Look at it in the light of that person really loves what they do. Okay? Like I said, you're going to encounter these people everywhere you go. Remember that a few episodes ago when we talked about passion, we kind of identified what passion was, right? So, passion is the fire that fuels our interest and drives us to pursue what we love. I'm going to repeat that. Passion is the fire that fuels our interest and drives us to pursue what we love. It brings energy and excitement to our endeavors, to what we're actually doing. motivating us, and I'm gonna switch that word motivating to inspiring us to engage deeply and wholeheartedly in our chosen paths. That was Gloria. That is a perfect description of what I witnessed with Gloria. Now, I gotta tell you, I've seen Glorias everywhere I go. Everywhere I go, I see Glorias. I see them at the school. Whenever I go and sub as a substitute teacher, I see people who are Glorias as a teacher, as an administrator. If I go to the supermarket, I actually encounter those people. And the way that you figure it out is they're smiling. They're super helpful. They want to go out of their way to help you. If you ask them, hey, where do I find something weird that my wife would ask me to buy, sauerkraut. Hey, where do I find the sauerkraut? Right? They don't just point. They don't just say, oh, it's on aisle A10 or whatever it is. They will actually take you there. They will walk you over. They give you the Disneyland experience. They will actually take you and show you where it is. Those are people who are passionate about what they do. Okay? So I want you to be on the lookout for those people in your life as you encounter them. And I want you to just go up to them and just say, hey, it looks like you really love what you do. It looks like you're having a great time. Okay? All right. So that's passion. Purpose. Do you guys remember how we defined purpose? Purpose gives our lives direction and meaning. It's the guiding star that helps us align our actions with our values and aspirations. When we identify our purpose, we can make choices that reflect who we truly are and what we want to contribute to the world. Okay? So that is the meaning of purpose, or a good definition, I feel, of purpose. It gives our lives direction and meaning. Okay? I was reading recently a book, Marcus Aurelius Meditations. If you guys have not read this book, I highly, highly recommend it. It is awesome. I get nothing in return by telling you about this book, except for just the sheer joy of telling you about this book. It's awesome. It's basically his value system. For those of you who don't know, Marcus Aurelius was a Roman emperor, and he's considered, I mean, at least by me, he's considered the greatest emperor in the Roman Empire. Okay, he was pretty awesome. And he had this book of all the things that he kind of believed or that he learned along the way as he learned from his father, from people that were close to him, and just people in his life. But this is what he said about purpose. Let no act be done without purpose. Let no act be done without purpose. And so I want you to find purpose. I want you to realize why you do what you do. Hey, you have passion. That's great. I'm glad that you can find or identify what your passion is, what it is you love to do. But now you got to figure out why you love to do it. What is it? And I want you to dig deep. I don't want you to just say, oh, you know what? It's because of money. It's because of the almighty dollar or that check that I get every 2 weeks or whatever. It's got to go beyond that. Because remember, purpose will give you direction and meaning. Money never gives us really any meaning. Right? So money is just a simple tool, but it's going to give you direction and meaning. So I want you to find your purpose. Now, when you find your purpose, I want you to actually share it with other people by doing two things. You can tell people what you do. So tell people what you do for a living, whatever, but tell them why you do it. You see that? When you tell them why you do it, you humanize the experience. I got to tell you, when I was in sales, I learned this when I was at Pfizer Pharmaceuticals, many, many years ago. This is back in 2000. I was hired in 2004. So this was around 2005. I've worked for them for about a year, and I was finally eligible to receive awards. Okay, so I had my eyes set on the top prize, which is Vice President's Cabinet. It's the most prestigious award given to a salesperson. It just basically means you had a hell of a good year, you kicked butt, and you were on it, right? You hit 100% of your quota. You were just on point. So that's what my eyes were set at. I wanted to win that. But it wasn't until I learned the principles of passion, purpose, and perseverance. I loved my job. You guys, I absolutely loved my job. There were aspects of my jobs that I couldn't stand. I couldn't stand taking tests. Okay? I could not stand doing the administrative stuff like expense reports every month and just doing strategic planning and stuff like that over my territory. I really didn't care for that part of my job. But overall, I loved my job. So I humanized it by creating a purpose, not just a love of my job. Oh, I love to sell, pharmaceuticals. I love this part of my job. I actually humanized it. I humanized it with all of my clients, because if they saw me coming, I was just another rep. I was just another one of the many reps that they would see in a day. But because I humanized it by creating a purpose, why was I working that job? Then I humanized that experience. They no longer see me as another rep. They see me as a person with a cause. Okay? Now, my cause wasn't really targeted around money, but it was more about living the lifestyle that I wanted to live and provide for my wife and for my kids. Okay? And that was my purpose. And so I would share that with my clients. I would share that with my customers. In every opportunity that I got, I would share that with them. And because I shared that with them, I created a cause. So I created a cause for my customers to get behind, for them to support. So instead of just supporting me as a sales rep, now they're supporting Eric, the actual human person who has a family, who's trying to create this lifestyle for his family, just like they were trying to create, I'm sure, a lifestyle for their families. So see how we have something in common? So sharing your purpose with other people is an extremely powerful, powerful tool. So we need to get into the habit of telling people why we do what we do, because we're really, really good at telling people what we do. But if you only say what we do, my response is always the same. So what? Who freaking cares? Nobody. Nobody cares. Okay? So, if you tell people what you do and then tell them why you do it, now you're going to create that cause. You're going to create that connection between you and those people. And they're going to want to help you achieve your purpose, and there's nothing in it for them, which is really a beautiful thing. There is nothing in it for them. They just want you to win. They just want to help you in your purpose so that you can be successful, so that you can reach your goals. It is awesome to have like a little mini army of people supporting you, and there's nothing in it for them. You don't have to pay anybody anything. There's no subscription fees, okay? I mean, today we live in a world of subscription fees, right? Are you guys tired of it? I am. I can't stand it, okay? But this creates an opportunity where there are no subscription fees. It's just people wanting to help you because they believe in you. They believe in your purpose, okay? All right, excellent. So, and then the last episode, which is probably fresh on your minds if you're following the podcast, was the third principle, was talking about perseverance, right? And we talked a little bit about, excuse me, my voice is dying. So we talked a little bit about that old adage, right? When the going gets tough, the tough get going. Again, that adage is deeply rooted in perseverance. Okay, so the way that we defined perseverance, just as a reminder, perseverance is the steadfastness to keep going even when faced with challenges. See the dyslexia kicking in right there? Whoo! It's about it just kicked in again. It's about resilience and the commitment to push through obstacles. This quality is essential for turning your passions and purpose into reality. Okay, many times we get involved in something, we find passion, we love it, we think it's exciting, we just love it, we want to get involved in it, and okay? And then we find a purpose, we know why we want to do it, and then shit hits the fan. And then what do? Oh, well, I'll tell you what 97% of us do. We just quit. Why? Because it's too hard. Because it wasn't the way that we imagined it. Because not all the ducks were in a row. And so we just freaking quit. We just say to hell with it. It wasn't meant to be. Or it was so hard. The reality is, yeah, maybe it was hard. But the only reason why it didn't work out, it wasn't because there's some force in the universe that said, no, you can't have that. It's just simply you quit. You stopped. You gave up. You did not persevere. And because that's the path you chose, there is no pot at the end of the rainbow. You're just out of luck. There's nothing for you except for failure. To me, that's what failure is. It's when we give up. Once we give up, that is failure. As long as you're trying, yeah, you may fail. You may fall flat on your face. But all it is one way that it didn't work. It's just one more way that it didn't work. So now you can move on to a different way of figuring out if that works for whatever it is you're trying to accomplish. So you gotta persevere. You gotta be able to see the big picture. You gotta be able to recognize that, hey, I need a little bit of perseverance. I need a little bit of stick-to-itiveness, right? To stick to doing hard things and then actually see it through. If you see it through, you're going to be rewarded in the end. That's just how it is. You may not win, but you will at least make it to the end. And you will be rewarded. There is a reward at the end. It may not be first place, but there is maybe an eternal reward. You know, if I look at the experience that I had this past week at that storytelling competition, by the way, it was called Last Story Standing, which I thought was pretty catchy. Good job, NSA. I will be honest, I really wanted to win. If I said anything less than that, it would be a lie. I am a highly competitive person. I wanted to win, but I knew I couldn't just show up and be like, hey, I've got a story. I paid my dues. I registered, so here I am to compete. I knew I couldn't do that. I was going to have to prepare. Now, storytelling, public speaking, that is my passion. I mean, I wouldn't be doing this podcast if it wasn't. I love to speak to an audience. Whether it's virtual or in person, I absolutely get energized about speaking to people, public speaking settings. So I was in my element. I was in my comfort zone. Okay? I was living in a position of strength, not weakness. I wasn't trying to overcome anything. I was living in an area of strength. I think I'm a good storyteller. I think other people have said, Eric, you're a good storyteller. So it kind of dawned on me one day that, hey, I'm probably a good storyteller because people keep telling me I'm a good storyteller. People keep telling me I'm a good public speaker. So I started to believe that narrative and I started to build on it and continue to work on it. It became my passion. Okay, so now I have that passion. My purpose, I wanted to win. I wish I could have, I wish that I could tell you that there was a deeper, thing deep inside of me that I pulled out. That was my purpose was simple. And sometimes purpose can be very simple. I simply wanted to win. And it wasn't a win to get like recognition from other people. It's just internally, I have to win. If I'm in a contest, I have to win. I am the worst person for board games. Just ask anybody in my family. Sophie over here is laughing, and because she knows that I have to win. It's just the way I'm wired. Okay? So sometimes our board games, we at the Aroka household, y'all, we don't play board games. We don't play board games for a reason. Okay? I'm primarily the reason. Okay? But anyways, my purpose was to win. I had to overcome, I had to persevere. Because up until the night before the storytelling, before Friday, on Thursday night when I went to bed, I was still struggling to figure out the ending of my story. Not that I didn't know the story, it's just kind of formulating the story and bringing out a takeaway that would be really good for the rest of the audience, right? And so I was really having a difficult time. And it wasn't really until Friday, like at midday, like a couple of hours before I actually before I shared my story, that it came to me. So I really had to practice. I had to persevere. I had to put the work in. I had to just lock in and be totally focused on this story, making sure I had it down. That's a little bit about perseverance, right? And then being able to deliver. When the lights go on, in whatever setting you're in, you have to be prepared to deliver because you've done the work. So now allow passion, purpose, and that perseverance to see you through to the end. See it through to the end. If you do that, you're going to be successful most times than not. And I think that you guys will be not motivated. I think that you will be inspired to keep going. You will be inspired to do other difficult things. You will be inspired to share your purpose with other people. And again, like I said, to be able to create that cause for people to get behind to help you out. When people recognize that you're living in your passion, that you have a purpose, they understand your purpose, they will help you. My good friend, Mike Lejeune, who is a member of NSA Houston, he is he's not a founding member, but he's been with the chapter for, I think, 15 plus years or I'm sure longer than that. And Mike is pretty awesome. Mike is a faith-based guy, okay? He's a little bit like me, where we both believe, we're both Christians. And he could see me. I was he was setting up. He was getting all the cameras and everything ready because it was videotaped. It was pretty awesome. So he was doing that part of it. And I was on the other side of the room. This is a very, very big room, but I was on the other side of the room just practicing, just going through my lines, making sure that I had it down. And he came over and just asked me how I was doing. He put his hand on my shoulder, asked me how I was doing. I was like, well, I'll be a lot better in about an hour or so because this will finally be over, right? And I'm really focused. I'm dialed in. People are not talking to me. They're just leaving me alone because they can see it. But Mike took the time to come over and see it for what it was, of somebody who is extremely passionate and has a purpose and is showing perseverance in that moment. So as he came over, asked me how I was doing, we chatted for a moment. He put his hand on my shoulder and he said, hey, let's pray. And it was awesome to have a grown man just pray over you. and just pray for you. It was incredible. It gave me like a lift. It gave me a boost. It gave me a sense of even greater confidence and really set me up. That's what could happen potentially when people see you performing with passion, with purpose, with perseverance. When I say people want to help you so that you can be successful, that's kind of what I'm talking about. There was nothing in it for Mike. Mike was last year's champion in the same storytelling competition. Mike was the champion the year before. Okay, I didn't compete in that one, but he was the champion. There was nothing in it for him. For him to come and help me out and to pray with me or to pray for me, there was nothing in it for him whatsoever. He just did it out of the goodness of his heart because he could see me. He saw that I was passionate, that I had purpose, that I was persevering, that I was going through it. That's what's going to happen. And not only is that going to happen for you, but when you see it, you're going to have that support for other people. So as you identify these people in your life who show passion, purpose, and perseverance, hey, if you believe in what they're doing, if you believe in their purpose, get behind them. Like, support them, help them out. And again, remember, it can't be offering help because you're getting something in return. You've got to do it just because you want to do it, because you're inspired to do it. Okay? And you will see, you will benefit from it. Anyways, I hope that helps. I think that these principles have just changed the way that I have lived my life over the past, I don't know, I want to say 25 years. It's been a long time. But these principles are eternal. These principles are never changing. They stay the same. It's not like tips and tricks, right? You can go to AI and have AI give you a bunch of tips and tricks on how to live your life. This is not that. These are principles. These are founding principles that if you live by them, they will lift you up. They will inspire you. They will help you reach and help you become the person that you want to become. They will help you to reach the goals that you have set for yourself. We are in, what is it, end of February? I think it's the 25th today, right? So today is getting really close to the end of February. I'll bet most of you right now have even forgotten what your New Year's goals were. See what I mean? So use passion, purpose, and perseverance. Infuse that into your goals. Infuse that into your plan so that you can achieve your goals. If you do that, if you find that passion, that purpose, and you persevere, there's no reason why you can't achieve the goals that you have set for yourself. Remember that with passion, purpose, and perseverance, you're going to have that fanatic discipline, right? Be fanatic in the type of discipline that you show. If you want to lose weight, if that was your goal in January, then have fanatic discipline. Be passionate about losing weight. How are you going to lose weight? Not all of us love losing weight the same way, right? Is it going to be a specific way of eating, right? Like I'm carnivore, so hey, if you want to go carnivore, we may have to do an episode, about being carnivore. I think we're going to put that in somewhere. But it could be a certain type of workout. Maybe you like to lift weights. Maybe you like to go running. Maybe you like to do aerobics. Do people do aerobics anymore? No. What do they do? Kickboxing. Whatever it is. Zumba. That's what it is. Whatever it is you like to do, find passion in it. Have a purpose. And then persevere. Because, right, there's going to be days that you don't want to get up. I did not want to do a workout this morning. Okay? I was sore. My calves are killing me. My thighs hurt. I did not want to do a workout this morning. But you got to have that fanatic discipline to say, I can't go on with my day if I don't do my workout. Okay? You're going to have days that you just don't want to get up. You don't want to get out of bed. You don't want to do whatever it is you've got to do. But you've got to persevere. You've got to push through. Allow that passion and purpose to push you through so that you can persevere, so that you can reach your goals in the end. Remember, I just want you guys to remember that passion, purpose, and perseverance, those are the 3 P's of ignition. That's how you ignite that spark that is in each one of us. Your spark may be dim, your spark may be bright. Regardless, use passion, purpose, and perseverance to keep that spark ignited, to keep it burning bright within you. Because other people are going to see that spark. Other people, and you're going to inspire them to reignite their spark. That's the beautiful thing about living life this way. About living life with passion, purpose, and perseverance. Okay, I think that's it for this episode. So, like I said before, if you like the content, please like, share, comment, all those good things. It's been a lot of fun, and we are getting really close to having some amazing guests on the podcast. I can't wait, like I said at the beginning, to share some of these guests, some of these people that I have met over the years with all of you. You are going to absolutely not only love them, but love their stories. So remember, as you go out there every single day, remember, live the life.